All right, Wolfpack Nation, we are back for part 2, y'all, of our fun debate episode. And if you haven't checked out part 1 already, as we already discussed a few really, controversial at least, topics in part 1. So make sure to go and check those out first and foremost to come right back here to part 2, right where we left off. But with that being said, we're going to jump right back into a NC State one here all right. So let me kind of paint a picture here for y'all. So if you were to create a all-time NC State men's basketball team, and I gave you two choices of players who I think is in consideration for, like, not necessarily saying, I'm not saying that they're like the greatest. I'm saying that they were really great players for NC State that is in the conversation. That's all I'm saying about it. So would you rather have Dennis Smith Jr. or Big T? And let me kind of paint a little bit of picture of why I feel like actually this has got a little bit tougher. Because with the recent thing, the recent viral TikTok thing where Dennis Smith Jr. was standing beside, I think it was like Harry Giles or, like a Duke and UNC guy, and he was like totally like back in the pack, being like when they asked like which team is the best, and he was like the team that has something to throw up, and he was like totally like back in NC State. And I was like, okay, I'll see that. There we go. Like finally, repping the NC State a little bit.
I mean, you would too if you got paid $40,000 under the table.
Oh yeah. Anyway, yeah. No, but I mean
that was probably part of his contract. He had to throw him up.
Well, yeah, but I mean at the end of the day, Dennis Smith Jr. No matter what with the controversy, like dude's stupid talent, man. Like dude's wickedly talented. But also, I mean, Big T, he could make shots from anywhere. Dude loved NC State through and through, man. But man, so that's why for me, it's tough. I say you can't have both. You can have one or the other. Who you taking? And they're both guards. So anybody screaming to answer?
I mean, I was gonna let Michael answer first, but
yeah.
If he doesn't know, I can go.
I think Dennis Smith Jr. I think he's just a little more well-rounded overall. I think Terquavion probably has the higher upside for like just pure shooter, pure offensive output. But yeah, I think Dennis Smith Jr. is a little more well-rounded.
Okay, Greg, what you got?
Yeah, I'm taking baby/Big T, just from a. So our team really sucked when Dennis Smith Jr. was on the team. Like we literally spent $40,000 to get 5 wins.
Was that the ones that include the ones that were taken away?
Oh, I mean, all of them got taken away, so we really got like 5 wins.
Right. Right.
I mean, look, Dennis Smith Jr. I think is more talented.
Yeah.
I feel, but I thought that, T was on a better team. T elevated his players more.
Yeah.
I thought, Dennis Smith Jr. kind of felt like a one-trick pony, where he could just basically get to the rim. I don't think he was as a good shooter. So I think T was a better defender than Dennis Smith Jr. So for those reasons, I'm going to go T.
So this for me is kind of a little bit of a deeper answer for me because I think that T is a great locker room guy, which I think is a very underrated piece of his game and a big piece of why I would put him ahead of Dennis Smith. But the one thing which I did say is that if you were creating an all-time NC State team, and I'm thinking about, the history of NC State basketball, and I'm sitting here saying, all right, pure point guard wise, like there's a handful of names that come to mind easily, but man, Dennis Smith is. But like I think shooting guard wise, we've had a lot of guys. Dude, Scott Wood, I would easily take it. My 2 or /3. He played 3 sometimes too, but. So that's why for me, I would say Dennis Smith, just because, like Michael said, he was so well-rounded that having him as my point guard, I'd feel really good about that. Just because he can do it all. He can shoot it. He can go to the basket. He can rebound. He can throw guys in position. He's going to draw attention. Like, he's going to do it all. So, and what I'm going to hope is that from the other guys I'm going to have involved, like Scott Wood, the locker room will stay in line. So that's my hope, and also to a little bit more, also to a better coach to push locker room as well, to push a great locker room. So yeah.
So in this argument, you're saying Terquavion is a point guard.
So I put
because
him more as
truly
point
to
guard.
your point,
Right.
to your point, Dennis Smith Jr. was a point guard, whereas T is better at the 2 than the point.
Well, and that's what I was saying is that if I'm comparing Dennis Smith to the other point guards that NC State has had, and if I'm comparing Big T to those shooting guards we've had, I'm saying that in terms of where Dennis Smith stands compared to the other point guards we have had, I'd rather have Dennis Smith and I'd pick from the options we have for the shooting guard spot compared to Big T.
I mean, other than the Duke dunk, what is Dennis Smith Jr. really remembered for?
He had a triple double.
Yeah, he did have a triple double. That's true.
Which was
Triple-double.
pretty impressive.
Yeah. I think one of the first ones, right, or the first one in NC State history.
Well, not
one
in
of
history. I don't
yeah,
think,
not
but
in history.
In a long,
but
it had been a long time before
I think,
he did
or it was
yeah.
the second one. Like, I don't
Yeah.
like it was. Yeah,
it was
Yeah.
rare. But
I want to say, did T.J. Warren have a triple double? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think assist-wise he ever got there. Rebounds and points,
maybe
but
not.
I don't know about assists. But either way, because my thing too is I get what you're saying too, but I also say, let's be real. That was a terrible coaching job by Guy. Terrible
agreed.
job.
He was.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
Like it was Dennis Smith Jr. show, and it was just Godfrey saying, "Oh please, Dennis Smith, go and save us." Like again, him kissing Dennis Smith on the head after beating Duke or whatever. like that. If that doesn't show like how that team is run, I don't know what does. I mean, like
which that's not necessarily his fault. Like you said, that's more on Godfrey than
right.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, at the end of the day, Dennis Smith was just asked, "Hey,
Yeah.
please go take us to wins." I mean, and
Yeah.
so. Because
So-
like you said, there was so many good players in that team that we should. So anyway, go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, Julius Hodge had the first triple double. Dennis Smith Jr. actually had 2 triple doubles, and then Markel Johnson had the 4th triple double. But if they get vacated, do they really happen?
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, So again, tough one for sure. And
Yeah,
definitely
especially
a lot
they're kind of apples to oranges, because they're
little
not playing
bit,
the
yeah.
same exact guard position.
right. Well, and again, and that's why I said because kind of like for example, like if I told you to create an all-time like NFL football team, I would rather go towards like defensive tackle because you have a few
Right.
guys who are just absolute beasts compared to everybody else, while I have a slew of quarterbacks I could possibly pick from.
Sure.
And be very, very happy with. So that's my thing. Is I feel like point guard wise, we haven't been as fortunate as we have at the shooting guard wise at NCAA history. But
And I say that if you're giving him a miscellaneous category, I think you have to give T the edge for just his love of NC State. I mean,
totally,
like he's
yeah.
back to games, like he does bleed the red and white. 'Cause I don't think Dennis Smith Jr.'s been back to a game.
no,
Probably not.
no, I don't think he has either. I agree.
So.
Yeah, no, I agree. So, and that's why, honestly, I wouldn't even brought this up until recently with the video coming out where he actually was totally repping and I was like, okay, cool. There we go. I like to see that. So, all right, moving on to our next one here. So, this is kind of a little bit of a side quest one, but I saw a Big Game Boomer recently has been coming out with these like top 50 like NFL running back, NFL wide receivers of all time, and some NC State fan actually commented and said, totally disrespectful to leave Jericho Cotchery off the list. And is anybody actually think that Jericho Cotchery is the top 50 all time wide receiver?
No.
Top 50 all time.
NFL. Okay.
He's probably
just
top
want to make sure.
100 maybe.
Yeah, dude played 13 years in the league, and even in his 12th and 13th
that's what I'm
year,
saying,
he was playing a Super Bowl. So
Just
he was-
longevity, he's probably top 100. But probably.
yeah.
Yeah, but he wasn't one of those guys that was leading the league in any kind of statistical categories. Probably, he would be in the league of very good or the Hall of very good, not like
Yeah.
It just
top 50. Top 50 is pretty much if you're in the top 50, you're going to be a Hall of Famer.
Well, and so yeah. Well, and let me give you like 6 or 7 names of like that 44 to 50 range.
Yeah.
That Big Game Boomer. So Big Game Boomer had Dez Bryant, Julian Edelman, Mike Evans, Harold Carmichael.
By the way,
Deshaun-
Mike Evans at that number is disrespectful.
Oh, totally. I agree.
It's completely disrespectful. He's the only
agree.
player in the
1,000
NFL
yards.
history to have 1,000 yards in 11 seasons in a row.
I agree. I do agree with that. I do agree. Deshaun Jackson, Jordy Nelson, A.J. Green. So,
Yeah.
yeah, not quite there.
No,
but
I don't think
top,
Jared
top 100.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would even probably go venture as top 75.
Yeah. Well, because like Jordy Nelson, A.J. Green, maybe, but not quite there. But Deshaun Jackson at 48, I think is
That's a little disrespectful too.
That's disrespectful.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
dude's
when
been
Deshaun
balling out
Jackson
for
was on, he
decades.
was on. Like he
Yeah.
was
He
all
was-
pro level.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's disrespectful.
Because he did so many things, right? Not only did he, catch the ball, he was a great returner too.
Yeah.
And I know that's kind of a separate category, but it all,
Yeah. But do you think Torrey Holt at 12 behind Lance Allworth, Steve Smith Sr., Chris Carter, Larry Fitzgerald, like, do you think that's fair? And ahead of guys like Reggie Wayne, Isaac Bruce, Michael Irvin?
Yeah.
Wait. So hold on. Say that again now. So you're saying that Torrey Holt was ahead of or ahead of?
So he was ahead of guys like Reggie Wayne, Isaac Bruce, Michael Irvin, Andre Johnson, Hines Ward, but he was behind guys like Steve Smith Sr.,
No.
Lance Allworth, Chris Carter, Larry Fitzgerald.
So I think, yeah, there's some mistakes there. He's definitely better than Steve Smith. I'm sorry, he's way better than Steve Smith.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Ooh, I like it.
He is on par with Reggie Wayne.
Okay.
He's pretty close to Isaac Bruce, though I know Isaac Bruce is already in the Hall of Fame, and I thought personally Holt should have gone in before Bruce.
Yeah. I don't understand how that happened.
Yeah, that one's a mystery. I'm not sure I put him ahead of
Michael Irvin.
Michael Irvin. Thank you. That was the name I was
say,
trying to get out of my head.
That's mine. That's mine for me too. I'm saying Michael Irvin.
Yeah.
It's probably right in the. He's probably right there in that range. The 10 to 15 range is probably fair.
I think,
But-
unfortunately, that one of the easiest cases you can make of why Michael Irvin should be ahead is because Michael Irvin pretty quickly was put in the Hall of Fame. Unfortunately, even still to this day.
Yeah, that's
football's
because
not
of the
in.
Super Bowl rings.
Yeah, when
and,
you win Super Bowls.
and honestly, like
Yeah.
if you want to, I know we're talking wide receivers, and we'll just take like 5 seconds. If you look at Troy Aikman's numbers, they're not that great for a Hall of Fame quarterback. What gets him in is those Super Bowl rings.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I'm not saying that he wasn't a good quarterback by any stretch of the imagination, but
Well, and Torrey Holt has one.
yeah, Torrey Holt has one.
Yeah.
So
Torrey Holt not in the Hall of Fame is
Totally disrespectful.
just
I don't know.
preposterous.
yes.
I mean, because I think this is his. Shoot, I want to say like this is like his 6th or 7th time up for it. Like,
Exactly.
Like, and I know he got in a log jam. Where was he in compared to like Andre Reed on that list?
Before we continue, we want to take a quick second to tell you about our sponsor, Flightlands Jessup Insurance Group, that has your whole world covered, with agents in 5 offices throughout eastern North Carolina to help you decide how much coverage you need. Offering policies for home and auto, recreational vehicles, commercial, crop, health, life, and employee benefits. They are able to combine options to find a comprehensive solution that works for you. Flightlands Jessup protects the things you love so you can spend less time worrying and more time enjoying them. Find them on Facebook and Instagram at Flightlands Jessup. You can also visit their webpage at www.flightlandsjessup.com. So please make sure to go and check them out. Andre Reed. I'm still looking, honestly. He's Andre Reed.
I mean, he's got to be top 15.
34.
Andre Reed is 34 on that list?
34.
Bro, Andre Reed is in the Hall of Fame.
34. Yep.
But, okay, so that kind of makes my point, but very extreme. Andre Reed was a very good wide receiver, but Torrey Holt is so much better than him.
This was.
And I know like a guy like Art Monk is in the Hall of Fame, and Art Monk was a great receiver in different times. So that's the other thing when you're trying to compare these wide receivers to different times because the game was different.
Well,
but
and the interesting thing to kind of make your point is that the highest rated current that like wide receiver that's still playing is Julio Jones at 23, and then it is Devontae Adams at 39,
Yeah.
which like I'm just saying, and it could be a little bit of recency bias, but
Yeah.
Devontae Adams is one of the greatest all-time
really good.
runners of all time. Like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, he's really
39 for him. Like, that's crazy. But again, there's been a lot of great wide receivers.
Yeah,
but,
Torrey Holt's got some records though. Like
Yeah.
most years consecutive, I think. Like
Oh, I mean, he has his
I
number retired by the Rams. You know.
yeah,
mean,
yeah. If he doesn't get in this year, it's gonna be like what? Like who did he piss off? Like
Yeah.
really? Like because you get these guys that get blackballed because they weren't good with the media, and I would find that hard to believe with Torrey Holt. Like what is it that is keeping him out?
like Terrell Owens, basically. Yeah.
I think he's better than T.O.
Well, wow, that great.
Nope. Go look at the numbers.
All right, I'm clipping this. I'm clipping
right.
the spot right there because man, that is a bold. That is literally as bold as Joe Giglio saying he'd rather have Wake Forest's roster over UNC's roster, and like
No, that's a crazy statement.
that's a crazy statement. Yeah.
Is he
Mine.
talking football or basketball?
Basketball. He's playing basketball, which is crazy. Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty bold take there, Greg. I like it. I mean, as an NCAA fan, I love it, but I'm like, anyway.
I'm
But
gonna
yeah,
have to
like,
look
but
up the
like the off the field issues Terrell Owens had that kept him out, even though he was a clear
Right, he was a basket case.
Right.
Like he was but he got in ahead of like Torrey Holt. Like I don't know if it's because he was on the same team as Isaac Bruce, and that he had Marshall Faulk, and then you had Kurt Warner. Is that what's holding him back? Like, but if you look at Michael Irving and Troy Aikman and Emmitt Smith, they've all been in, so they recognize
it just
great
makes
offenses.
sense.
Right. Yeah, I agree. So, all right. So now a quick one that takes maybe 2 seconds. Cookout or Bojangles?
That's not fair. This is not a fair question.
Is it though?
They're completely different restaurants.
All right. One of them is getting absolutely annihilated and is getting wiped off the face of the earth as you know it, Michael. Which one are you keeping? Cookout or Bojangles? For me, it's Bojangles.
Cookout.
I know.
Bye, Bojangles.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm not a big Bojangles fan. We've had this conversation.
I know.
I'm if I'm going chicken, I love some Popeyes. Now I would take Bojangles
Biscuitville
over
has
KFC.
Not just as good, but I could get by with Biscuitville, their biscuits and chicken.
And see, I don't like biscuits, so I don't give a dang about Bojangles.
Yeah, that's tough.
Only time I eat a biscuit is with gravy on top of it, like some sausage and gravy biscuits. But other than that, you can have the biscuits.
Yeah, I get it. Alrighty, that was a quick one. So we got two more that should take up pretty much most of the time here. So, all right. So, kind of the same question where if I was to get you to create an all-time women's basketball team, and I said you can only have one of these players, so you can only choose one of them, and the other one is up for grabs for somebody else. Sanaya Rivers or Lisa Kunane? Which, like, for me,
Okay, hold on. Okay, all right.
Go for it.
I need some parameters.
Okay.
Are we running Westmore's offense?
I mean, it depends on your coach. I mean, I guess, right? I mean, who do you like?
I mean, they both play for Coach Moore, so are we running
so
Coach Moore's offense?
I mean, assuming that you get her.
Give me a yes or no. This is
Yes.
what the answer is.
Yes.
Give me Kunane then.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think I gotta take Kanane.
Okay. Well, yeah.
And I know that's not the answer you wanted.
No. I mean, I don't care what your pick is. Like for me, I'm just looking at what Sanaya Rivers is doing all around. Like,
Yeah,
she's doing everything, man, and like.
and it's
she's
only
so
her
athletic.
second year. Again, this
It's
is
only
kind
her
of like
second year.
this is kind of like the same one, the 2017 versus
a good
2024. It's like we know
Agreed.
the whole body of work from Kanane. We don't know yet
Agreed.
from Rivers.
Which this
But-
is no disrespect, as I know.
No,
I mean, like
yeah.
Kunane, like she's without doubt in my opinion, I think everybody's paying top 5 all time and stay women's basketball player of all time.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
why is your jersey not retired by now? Like that's pretty much where I am with Lisa Kunane. But I'm sitting here saying that just with how much Sanaya Rivers is involved in so many parts of the court, and again, she's a great leader.
Yeah, she had 7 steals the other night.
Stupid athletic. She's
Yeah.
stupid athletic. Like, man, She does so much. So again, it's honestly for me like more of like a hats off to Sanaya that we're even having this conversation.
Yeah.
That's really kind of what I want to do out of this.
Yeah, obviously they're two different styles of play. I mean,
Correct.
you're talking a big and a I mean, because let's be
Forward.
real, Rivers can play the point. She can play the 2. I've even seen her play the 3.
Yeah, easily.
So, but Elisa was just so dynamic with what she could do in Westmore's offense. You know, she could defend, she could block shots, she could make shots, she could pass out and, you know, free her teammates up for shots. Like, I could not even imagine. So give me this, give me Kunane and Rivers on the same team. River Baldwin is great, but if you gave me those two at the same time,
like those two meaning Sanaya Rivers or River Baldwin?
no, Sanaya Rivers and
and Elisa Kunane.
Yeah,
Lights out.
Yeah, it would be insane. Like, that would not even be fair.
You're not losing a game.
Yeah.
No. And so here, let me go even a step further. So if I said you can only have one coach, are you taking KL or Westmore?
That's not even fair, bro.
I know. I know, that's a tough one. That's a fun one. Yeah.
So knowing what we know, and this again, obviously no disrespect to anyone, I'm taking Coach Yao, just because she did everything at NC State when she was there, from coaching softball and being the basketball coach and volleyball.
Yep.
In a time that women's sports wasn't appreciated and given the opportunities that they're given now.
Agreed.
She's an Olympic gold medal coach.
Yep.
Coached NC State to a Final Four.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to take that over Coach Moore, unfortunately.
Yeah. No,
and Coach Moore, being the guy that he is, would probably give you the same answer.
Well, and that's exactly what I was about to say. Is like I guarantee if he was watching, he'd be screaming at you, "Take KL!" Like, no, do not take me, take KL. So yeah. Agreed. Any more comments on that, Michael? Before we move on to our last one here.
No. I mean, man. These are good questions.
Yeah. No, I agree. All right. So what I want you to do is this is kind of like a start, bench, and cut. Start, bench, and cut. But there are 3 offensive players, and I'm more of actually, you know what? Man, can I take this a step further? So, because here's my thing, is that I'm really kind of wanting to wonder how much, like, so who would you guys say is the second greatest wide receiver to ever play in NC State? Is it Jericho Cotchery? Is your number 2 all time?
Off the top of my head,
like,
yeah,
whoever,
say,
Corin Robinson, whatever, like,
he was
like
good, yeah.
Like basically that's not even necessarily the question. Like, basically my question is, how much greater do you think TORRY HOLT was NC State than whoever you put at second? Like, is there a significant difference between TORRY HOLT and whoever you put number 2, or would you say it's close?
So,
yeah, no, I think it's pretty. I don't know how big of a gap, but I think it's like there's not really an argument.
It is a gap, especially if you're talking to someone like Corin Robinson, because as good as Corin Robinson was, Phillip Rivers made him that much better.
Well, and that could you say the same thing about Jericho Cotchery? That's my other thing too.
Yeah.
So my point of being is that,
because who did play with? Jamie Barnett, was that his main guy?
Jamie Barnett. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which, I mean, great quarterback, underrated.
Jamie Barnett was a really good underrated,
but not Phillip Rivers.
Right.
So because the reason why I'm kind of asking is, so like when we had the topic discussion of where does Peyton Wilson rank all time, is that for me, I'm sitting here saying, like, for the people who say, no, man, it's Nate Irving, no, it's D'Antonio Burnett, no, it's LeVar Fisher, I'm saying, all right, you can take LeVar Fisher, I'll take Peyton Wilson, and I'll take TORRY HOLT, and we're not losing a single game, man.
Right.
Like for me, like I have by far the best defensive player, in my opinion, that as my leader, and I have TORRY HOLT, who is absolutely unstoppable at wide receiver. But the other question which I ask is, all right, so would you say that tight end wise, J. Sam is a significant above every other tight end that you could possibly pick? Because I'm putting him a tight end because that's what he was always slotted as most of the time, even came in as,
like
was
on the
tight
roster.
end.
Yeah.
So I'm putting him on my roster as tight end. So I would say if you're making an all-time team, you're picking him among tight ends, not running backs, not wide receivers.
Yeah.
Tight ends. So
Yeah,
I guess that's my
was-
question. So who would you say has the biggest gap between Jay Sam and tight ends, Torrey Holt and wide receivers, Peyton Wilson linebackers? Who has the biggest to least gap among the rest?
Well, let me look at our tight ends list. Off the top of my head, I would say Torrey Holt.
As the biggest gap?
Yeah.
Because tight ends is like George Bryan, Kerry Angeline,
Mhm.
you know, like
But
George
it's
Bryan,
so
I
hard
think
to
is
compare Jason
for me,
to those
that's-
guys though too.
Well, but exactly. But I'm saying like if I'm creating an all-time team, I think JSM is up there, but Torrey Holt, man, like that dude. Yeah.
Can
go
I
ahead.
backtrack for a second?
Go for it? What you got, Greg?
The gap between Torrey Holt and Jericho Cotchery is not as much as you would think it is.
Ooh. But again, whatever stats you're about to bring up, keep in mind the quarterback that was involved.
Yeah,
though.
yeah, no, I get that. You know,
Yeah.
Jericho Cotchery had 9 more receptions than Torrey Holt.
Okay. How many? Because didn't Torrey really?
There was just over 200 yards that separated them in total yardage.
Mhm.
Were they the same games played?
So this says Cotchery from 2000, 2003, 95 to 98. So that matches
Same.
up.
Yeah. Yep.
98. Okay.
10 touchdown difference between Holt and Cotchery, but like the average was only 2 yards difference. Like the gap is not as much as one would think.
No.
All right. So what?
Yeah.
So what is your answer then, Greg? So
I mean, it's still
Sam-
Torrey Holt. I mean, like,
Okay.
I'm just saying we
Yeah.
weren't giving Jericho enough cred.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, and again, like I easily said, he's my number 2.
Yeah,
but
he
I'm
has
also
to be.
Saying he had Phillip Rivers while
yeah,
Torrey had D'Antonio, or sorry, Burnett.
yeah, and you have guys like Emeka
Barnett.
and Thayer who are up there because they had an extra year. Like they
Yeah,
played
get
literally
that
played
year.
5 years.
Yeah.
You know, so
Exactly. Agreed.
so when you break things down, Jay Sam is up there for receptions too. He
leads
actually
in terms of career receptions, I thought. I
um,
broke the record for career
he
receptions.
had it at one time. Yes, it's since been broken by Emeka.
Oh,
but-
okay.
Yeah, he's got 201, which is 1 more than Jericho and 10 more than Torrey.
Which again, it's crazy when basically we started off his career trying to just figure out where the heck we're going to put Jason.
Yeah.
You know, so
Right.
like like that's honestly my thing is J Sam I would really think about because he's just an absolute cheat code because just like I was
Yeah.
saying, you could put him anywhere,
Yeah.
and he'd be great.
He's really like
A
in
cheat code.
category of his own.
Agreed. So, alrighty. So that kind of wraps it up here. So first of all, Greg, Michael, what would you say your favorite debate topic was?
Mm.
Jeff versus Gif.
Jesus.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I think I don't know. Like,
No, the first one you did, the football,
Yeah,
2017 versus
yeah,
2017
next
yeah,
year.
that's the one. Again, I would definitely like to revisit that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, that's one
I
we
agree.
can look back at after next season.
Yeah, absolutely. Alrighty, so with that being said, Wolfpack Nation, make sure again, if you haven't already, make sure to go and enter into our humongous giveaway, y'all. Make sure to click the link down below right now to the tweet. Go follow the steps, and you can be entered to win possibly one of the 7 sets of 2 tickets. You could also potentially win an appearance here on a Tuffy Talk episode. You could also win potentially a signed mini football helmet by Dave Doran.
I don't think we're selling that appearance enough. Like, honestly.
Like, okay, come on here with us and debate topics just like this and have
That's
fun
right.
with us.
Who's the
So-
better Tuffy Talk host? That should be what we ask them.
Host? I mean, okay. Anyway, so make sure again, y'all, make sure to go in again. Click the link below. Go follow the steps, and our winners, we will select them on January 29th, 8 p.m. on our Tuffy Talk live show. So again, make sure to go enter. Again, all you have to do is sign up for Savage Wolves, follow steps, and we'll go from there.
And by the way, we
Uh,
only have 1 or 2, so you're giving yourself a good chance to win some prizes here.
Yes, you have a very good chance right now. We're not expecting
Only
like
a
40
couple so
entrants.
far,
I
yeah.
mean, expand a good handful, but at the end of the day, I mean, like, you're going to have a very good chance to win something. So make sure to go and do it. And for us, Wolfpack Nation, again, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. If you enjoyed this debate, hit that like button. And make sure to give us a follow, Tuffy Talk Now, on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, y'all. But thank y'all so much for tuning in, and go Pack, y'all.